wonderful day to you. This is Owen McCafferty speaking on behalf of Professional Fusion, giving an update of ideas and thoughts of what's occurring, short, sweet, and to the point, so that you may consider these things as part of your future. I'm going to date this. This is November 11th, 2024, and it is Veterans Day. I cannot tell you what I sense in dealing with people for the last couple days, both in business, personally, socially at church, or at one of my grandkids' football games, just discussions in general about what the hopes for America are. And things are very positive. Now, whether you voted one way or another way in the election, that really has very little bearing from the standpoint of what the commercial and business impact is going to be. And I do focus on the commercial and business impact, specifically as it relates to the professions of veterinary medicine, dentistry, and dermatology. I see an optimism. Now, the optimism can be translated in two things. First of all, open slots of time on your scheduling sheets are probably going to be diminished. I look at this as a great opportunity for people to take advantage before year end, especially in dentistry and human dermatology, to optimize and maximize any insurance that's still left for the remainder of the year. And with this optimism comes maybe the lack of fear that they're going to lose their job. And in fact, I'm seeing the opposite occur now. It's way, way, way too early to make any broad brush strokes, but I am seeing the opposite of what I saw in the doldrums before. And that's pretty normal. I think ambiguity is a horrible thing. It may have occurred the same way if there had been an alternative result. But regardless of what that may be, I am seeing that there is a grand optimism coming back to the American citizen. And that grand optimism is going to be the basis for engagement in the areas of veterinary medicine, dentistry, and human dermatology. And the reason for it is quite simple. Without fear or optimism that the future will be better than what the present is, that there will be increased probability for engagement. So taking advantage of that, and just want to throw this out as an idea. If you have open slots in your appointment logs, in your probably computer logs of time that's available, now would not be a bad time just to have a short note being sent to your patients, or in veterinary medicine, your patients and clients, about the availability at year end and your availability to see them. Now, if you're going to be taking time off, now is the time to book it in your log so that you don't have to go back. But if your time is not completely filled, one idea, stealing this from Mayo Clinic, and that is that you look at your own schedule and you see when you have appointments scheduled out, and you give an opportunity, if they want to come in sooner, to send them a short email and say, if this is convenient for you in your schedule, come on in now. It's far better to push any appointments, especially when we're starting to get into this sens de chaleur, the sense of warmth that the economy is going to do better, to schedule people to come in. First of all, they get better care sooner. And the second issue is that then frees up your schedule for the future so that new patient opportunities or new client/patient opportunities can be availed. So the tip is look at your own schedule, book out your time, see what you can commit to, and then look at the log that has longer term appointments and try to bring them into the present. It's far better to take the opportunity to give timely care, medically especially, than it would be to defer. And then that gives you a chance to deal with those issues of merit in the future. And then talk to your staff. Your staff is a little confused right now. Some may be unhappy with the way things went, but let them know that things seem to be looking up. And then finally, as usual, and you know I talk with you about it, it's really a moral thing to try to pay your staff as much as you humanly possibly can. I know Scrooge was a CPA, but let's just put that one aside. It's your moral obligation to try to get as much money in the hands of your employees as possible that's as a result of justification. Not frivolous payment, but payment because they just are wonderful people. They've worked hard, they've improved the practice. You cannot do that if you don't raise your fees. Just had this discussion with a very close friend. It's one thing that you want to pay your people a living wage because God knows the cost of butter is not $3, but rather $7, and it's going up. Anybody who lives in this world that does things like fill up their gas tank or goes to the grocery store or pays their rent or pays their insurance, which is especially bad down here in Florida, knows that additional capital is needed. And we're now looking, gee whiz, at November. Thanksgiving is not that far away, and Christmas is right there before you can sneeze, as well as every other holy day or holiday for other specific faiths. So as a result of that, you really do need to look at your compensatory payments right now and see if you can increase them. But you can only increase them if you can increase your fees. If you say, well, I want to pay my people, but I can't raise my fees, then you're put in a bad spot because you're placing the practice at a point of danger, because increasing expense without increasing income can only be justified if volume increases. Remember the pricing volume discussion that we've had in the past? But I really do think now would be the time to look at seeing what you can do to raise the compensation for your staff if you can raise your fees. If you can't, then you may be able to raise the compensation for your staff if you reduce the number of staff members so that there's more dollars in the pool. There's a whole slew of issues. I didn't mean for this narrative to be this long, but there's some good stuff coming on. Good stuff, some of which may not necessarily be as pleasant as other things, but we in the United States of America are moving forward. And don't be left behind. As they say from Latin class, carpe diem, seize the day. For Owen McCafferty, very optimistic, very hopeful for what the future may bring. I want to say thank you very much and talk with you soon. Bye-bye.